Hey guys, I'm the editor for American Analysts. This video is gonna look a little watery, and that's because I used a poo-poo caca camera. And that's my bad. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be good, but it turned out bad. So, still watch the video. It's a good video. It's good video. It's a good video. It's alright. It's a good video. It's a good video. It's a good video.
So what am I gonna
Just
say?
say it's Gabe. Just say I'll say it's Marco.
What's good, everybody? It's Gabe,
It's Marco.
and this is analysis number 3. And let's get straight into it. I was right yesterday, right? I predicted the Coppa Italia final. I said Napoli was gonna win on penalties. I may have got the scoreline wrong, but I knew it. I just knew it. Napoli, for me, they had it in them to win this. I felt like against Inter and against Juve yesterday, they had the same game plan, and it worked.
Well, do you think they just got lucky getting two penalties and winning it on penalties? Because let's be real here. Let's be real here. Juventus was the better team in the first half. Napoli didn't create any chances really the whole game. Maybe like in the last minute when Buffon saved Juventus. Then that was like the only chance for Napoli. That was the only big chance for Napoli.
No, I understand that, but what chance did Juve have the whole game?
No, I know.
They I just don't get it. Where is this team? They haven't scored in both games,
No, I know.
and I get it. Ronaldo, like, he clearly doesn't look 100%, but like it just looks like every time they have the ball in the wing, there's no one in the box.
They just look slow, all of them.
Yeah,
Every single player
I
on that
mean,
team looks really slow.
like there's such a big problem in this Juventus side. Like, I think everything starts with Sarri. Like,
Yeah.
this guy, I know he wants to play his Sarri ball, but he just does not have the midfielders. He doesn't have the forwards either. Like, Douglas Costa, for me, I thought he was really good in the beginning when he first joined Juve. He was good 1v1, but other than that, this guy can't do anything.
So do you think it's Sarri's fault that the players don't understand his philosophy?
I don't know. The thing is, at Chelsea last year, it was the same thing. He caused a lot of problems in the locker room because I think Hazard came in an interview and he was like, "Sarri's a good coach, but he doesn't know he doesn't have control in the locker room." And I
Well,
think that's the same thing in Napoli. What happened to him?
then then maybe it is his fault because two teams, you're right. Juventus is still first in Serie A. Let's not forget about that. Besides the Coppa Italia final, yeah, they lost twice in a row, but like they're still
Yeah.
first. Is this
Well, let's focus more on this game. Who do you think was the best player on the field?
well, I think Buffon was.
Really?
I believe Buffon was. I don't really believe any other player besides Buffon on Napoli or Juve stood out like him.
I don't think any player really stood out, but I'll tell you what. If I could say someone that stood out for me
Koulibaly?
was for me and Koulibaly.
Yeah.
He's my favorite defender. But I think Gattuso stood out.
Oh
I'll tell you why. His tactics were on point.
no, he was.
His back line is so organized. I haven't seen a Napoli defense this organized like ever.
Yeah, I know.
When I watched them back with Rafa Benitez, with Sarri, like, they never looked this organized. Like Koulibaly, Maximovic, Di Lorenzo, and even Mario Rui had a good game. Like, they looked solid. And to me, every time Ronaldo got the ball, he just couldn't do anything. Koulibaly really shut him down. And I think Gattuso won Napoli this game. His tactics, everything. He outsmarted Sarri.
So online, there's been talk that this is Ronaldo's fault. Do you believe that? That they lost because of Ronaldo?
I'm going to say partially, I say it's Ronaldo's fault. And I get, like, why people are saying that, but, I'll blame half of it on the team and the coach. Like,
Yeah.
Juventus have a really bad midfield, and, yesterday you had Matuidi, Pjanic, and Bentancur, who didn't really provide anything. But at the same time, Ronaldo really, like, he just didn't do anything yesterday. He looked like such an average player.
Yeah, I was just gonna use that word.
Every ball he got, it was just a pass back, pass back. I get it. Maybe you're too old enough to take on your man, but try making runs into the box like he always does. He didn't make any runs at all yesterday.
Well, I mean, sometimes he does make runs and the players don't see him, and then he goes back,
Yeah,
and
no.
then that's why he tries to come short
Uh-huh.
a lot of the time, and that's why he messes up. dribbling.
I also thought once again Insigne had a good game.
No,
he
he
didn't.
did.
He might not have done much, but I thought he did the simple things right.
Same thing with
Um,
Dybala then in that case.
yeah, I mean, I thought Dybala did pretty well for Juve, but in terms of if we're talking about collectively as a team, like Napoli just were better than Juve.
No, they were.
They were more organized. I think they won second balls like crazy. Every time there was a tackle, I always saw Napoli won the ball.
Yeah.
So I think it's simple as that. When it came to penalties, I already had the feeling Napoli's winning this game. Once you saw Danilo step up from that penalty, I told this guy, I was like, this guy looks like he meant to miss his penalty. And I don't know who had the penalty takers in that
Yeah.
lineup. Who the hell puts Danilo to take a penalty? You had Bernadeschi, who was there too. Like De Ligt is definitely a better penalty taker
No,
than
100%.
Danilo. You had Quadrado. Like I know Ronaldo's the fifth taker, and we all know why he wants to do that. But like it just doesn't make sense.
And they shouldn't have taken Pjanic out if they really thought they were going to go into penalties, because
Yeah.
Pjanic is also a really good penalty taker.
Exactly. It made no sense. And Napoli were spot on with their penalties.
I don't know.
They got all their penalty takers right.
Juve just looked dumb yesterday. That was really
I
it.
mean, listen, this game honestly was a very boring game, and it was
Oh my god.
there wasn't really much to talk about. But Juve just they're not clinical, and for me in the summer they really need to buy a center forward and a winger.
And a midfielder.
Yeah, I know the midfield's a problem, but I noticed it.
And a right back.
They don't have anyone in the box. They really don't. Back
Mhm.
then, you at least had Mandzukic.
Yeah, workhorse.
That was a big mistake, letting go of Mandzukic.
Yep.
Really big mistake.
It was a big mistake getting rid of Chan too.
Yeah.
He against Atletico, everyone was saying, yeah, it was Ronaldo, but he did a lot too. But let's not forget
Well,
about that.
that's pretty much it about Juve and Napoli. There was another game that was on at the same time. I watched the rest of it at night. Man City literally destroyed
I
Arsenal.
predicted it 3-0. Arsenal was not gonna score a goal.
I'll let
against
you
Man City.
speak about this first.
Well, alright, I predicted it, and it was a surprise to us because we predicted that David Luiz was going to be in the lineup, but he came on as a sub, and look what happened to him. What did he do? He got up first of all.
He messed up the clearance.
The first goal.
The first goal.
Then he got a penalty and got sent off.
Yeah.
So that was my focus yesterday. Arsenal's defense, and look what happened. An Arsenal defender.
Let's not take it
messed up the
away
game.
from City though. Like City did look a bit rusty, but come on, it's City. They're
But, yeah, I was gonna say, it's
they're
City.
one of the best teams in the world. But once again, going back to Arsenal, it's the same problems every year. They don't have good center backs. They literally get destroyed, and they're honestly what I've noticed over the past few years is that they're really unfit. They get so many injuries,
Yeah.
and I don't know. All I can say is that David Luiz really I don't get it. This guy's won Premier Leagues. He's won in France. He won a Champions League, and you're making mistakes like that.
Yeah.
What I've always said is that I never thought David Luiz was a center back, and I'll tell you why. If you noticed when David Luiz thrives at his best, they won with Chelsea. Remember when he was in that team?
Yeah.
They played a 3-5-2. David Luiz was in the middle, and he was more of like a CDM, honestly, like just a ball playing center back, and then he had good center backs in Europe that did all the work for him. At Arsenal, he doesn't have that.
No, he.
That's why he's getting exposed. Also at PSG, if you remember when Suarez literally cut him into pieces.
Yeah.
It's an example. This guy can't play four in the back. Against Germany in the 2014 World Cup, I think 5 goals were his fault.
Yeah, they were. If you saw that, yeah, they were.
So what I can say, though, what I can defend about David Luiz is that I don't think he's a center back, but at the same time, dude, you've won tons of titles. You won the biggest European competition. You should be setting an example for, defenders on Arsenal.
But I really don't think that even if David Luiz made those mistakes, got a red card, that they would have won.
Well, I also think people are forgetting how big Xhaka is to this team because he got injured.
Yeah,
and Xhaka literally controls that midfield. I think he's honestly one of the best Arsenal players right now.
But I think this was Man City's win the whole time. Before the game, during the game, after the game.
Yeah, but I mean, there was also a crazy stat I heard is that Arsenal haven't won away from home since 2015 against a top 6 team. That's crazy.
Didn't they not have a shot on target either?
Yeah,
That was like the last time they had it was against
I
Liverpool in
mean,
2017.
I thought every Arsenal player was poor, even Aubameyang. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't see anything, and they left Ozo out of the lineup, which
Yeah, that was surprising to us.
I kind of see why Arteta did that because against City, you're gonna have to defend more, and Ozil just does not defend.
Yeah, but Ozil's like the maestro of your team. You really
Yeah.
can't just leave him out of your team.
But in terms of City, I was really impressed with De Bruyne, and I called it. I said Jesus was gonna start over Aguero because Aguero's fitness issues are a problem.
Yeah.
Sterling, of course, gets on the score sheet. But other than that, I could say that City just showed their class.
Yep.
And I don't blame Arteta for, what he did, like, with the team. I don't think it's his fault because, think about it. He didn't start David Luiz.
Yeah.
He had a good game plan. Then the defender, Pablo Mari, gets injured. Your whole game plan changes. Xhaka gets injured. Same thing. So I think for Arsenal, the next thing they could do is just look at this defeat and be like, all right, we got to go to Brighton and get a good victory.
Well,
That's it.
we'll see what happens because
Yeah.
against small teams, I don't know what's wrong with Arsenal.
So in the Bundesliga, we'll move on to that. Dortmund lost at home 2-0. Not even a surprise to
So
me.
their season just doesn't look.
I
good.
wouldn't say their season's done because they're still fighting for that Champions
No, it
League
doesn't
place.
look good because come
Yeah.
on, you're second place. You're almost gonna fall to third.
They
if
lost
lose.
to Mainz.
Next game.
They were
Yeah,
home.
and
So
they were home.
this is what I was talking about in one of our videos. Is that Dortmund is too inconsistent. They lose these games. Like Bayern won the league, all right, but you still got to make Champions League next year.
Yeah.
They lose at home. Leipzig also dropped points. They tied 2-2. That's another thing. That's another thing I realized about Leipzig too. They just don't take advantage
I
of
know.
like those games. Leverkusen though, they took advantage. They won 3-1. Kai Havertz again on the score sheet. This guy is honestly the next big thing.
I believe that
Germany.
100%, and I don't say that about a lot of
Yeah.
youngsters, but he's the next big
I
thing.
honestly think he's the next Royce.
I think even better than Royce. I'm sorry.
Maybe. Well,
Well,
Royce was always a good player. He's
It's
just
just
always
his
got
injuries.
injured.
Yeah.
Another game that was played yesterday was Atletico. They won 5-0 away from home. João Felix got a double.
That's pretty good for him because
And-
he had a shaky season so far.
Yeah, and I think he has a big future. But for Atleti, that's big because they need top four. And a 5-0 win away from home is really good.
Very good.
So now we're going to preview the biggest Premier League game of the weekend. Tottenham versus Man U. I'm going with for me this is going to be a really tight game. Mourinho obviously is the face of this. He's playing against his old team. Kane is back. Son is back. They got everyone back. Same with Man U. They have Pogba back. Fernandes obviously. Let's see if he can carry that for him.
Yeah. Rashford back.
Yeah. This game's tricky, but I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
I was gonna say the same thing with a draw, but I say 2-2.
2-2.
I'd say maybe 2-2, 3-3. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but a draw.
The reason why I think it's gonna be a draw is because these two teams are literally the most inconsistent teams in the Prem.
Yep.
Like Tottenham have been so inconsistent this season, but let's be honest, Kane's been injured for a while, and Son also. So
Yeah.
they were playing without a center forward for a while. For Man U, if they can carry that form they had with Pogba back, that would be great. But yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1.
Yeah. I say 2-2 or 3-3.
After that, we got Brighton versus Arsenal. I wonder how Arsenal's gonna react.
I mean, there's not much to say about this game, really.
Like, I feel like Arsenal just need to score 2 quick goals.
Arsenal need a big win to get their confidence back. Team
you know
they're
what?
versing.
You know what Arsenal is that I just don't even know like who is their biggest player besides Aubameyang.
Well, you can say
I feel like they don't have any top class players anymore. Yeah, Ozil's still good, but is he really top class? Like Aubameyang's top class.
Lacazette is top class.
I don't think
On his day, Lacazette is top class.
Lacazette's a good player, but I wouldn't say like he's top class.
On his day, he is.
Yeah. On to the next game. We got Villa at home versus Chelsea, which I think right now Chelsea is, you just signed Ziyech, Werner, linked with
Havertz.
Havertz and Chilwell.
I think this is Chelsea's win. Doesn't matter how you look at it.
I mean, I think Frank Lampard, like people are criticizing him and stuff, but I think he's done a good job.
But
this year.
I still don't think he's the right fit for coach.
You don't
They
think
need
so?
Chelsea's a big team. They have a big history. They need a big coach. Yes, I understand that Lampard was one of the greatest midfielders of all time,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean you can be a great coach.
I mean, let's be honest. Chelsea is just a really like youth team this year. Like Mason Mount, Pulisic,
James.
Tammy Abraham, like all these players. Tamori, like Chelsea have really a lot of talent. The thing that I think is missing from them is that experienced player, that big
Yeah.
player. But they're really building well. They got Ziyech, they got Werner next season, who I think they're like proven players.
Yeah.
They just need to prove themselves now in the Prem. Another big game is Everton versus Liverpool. I know Liverpool have won the league already, and they're probably the best team. Not probably, they are the
No,
best
they're best
team
team
in
in
the Prem. But Ancelotti, he's a good coach.
He's doing well with Everton.
And I think he could take advantage of this.
And I don't know if you saw what Pickford said, but he said that they believe they can win against Liverpool.
I wouldn't count them out, but I'm still gonna edge Liverpool.
No, me too.
I'm gonna go 2-1.
I go 2-0.
I think Mane and Salah and Firmino is just too big for Everton's defense.
Yeah, everyone's always complaining about Liverpool, but I think Liverpool now is coming into this game like we're champions of. I know we got knocked out of Champions League, but we're still champions of England.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how you look at us, we're still gonna beat the teams. We're still gonna win the league, and you guys can't do anything about it.
We got West Ham and Wolves too. The reason, some people might not think this is a big game, but I think Wolves honestly have a real chance to make Champions League.
I love the way Wolves play. I love their gameplay.
I think honestly they play kind of like Liverpool. If you kind of see it, it's like high press, like crosses in the box, Adama on the wing,
and they're fun to watch.
Yeah, I think on this game I'm gonna go Wolves 2-0 away from home. I honestly think something that people aren't realizing is that no fans, this home and away advantage, it's honestly not gonna matter that much.
I agree with 2-0.
So yeah, I go with that. Moving on to La Liga, we got probably the biggest game of La Liga this week: Sevilla versus Barca. So it's first versus third.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, I could see a draw.
Really?
I'll tell you why. Sevilla are home, and I know it doesn't matter about that, but I just feel like Barca are so shaky in the back.
No, they are. They are, and I agree with that. But at the same time, Barca are first in La Liga. Messi is on fire right now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a tie or a loss.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Sevilla have really good players. Honestly, they can cause some damage. I forgot. There's this really good player on Sevilla that when they're playing against Roma in the Europa League.
Yeah.
But I saw them when they played in the Europa League. They had, I think it was Munir who used to play for Barca.
Yeah.
He's doing quite well this season, so he could be a threat. Also, they have Luke De Jong, Suso. They got some talent.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ever Banega, they can cause problems, but Barca is a favorite. But I'm gonna go for draw. I'm going 1-1.
I'm going 2-0 Barca, but it says right here I'm reading that Umtiti is suspended with a red card.
Yeah, but he's not that good.
I know, but still, and PK. He's doubtful because he got a knock. I don't know. I didn't really watch the last game.
That would be a big miss.
And obviously Dembele, he's
always injured.
He's injured. So that's 3 players missing. Yeah. Oh, maybe PK, maybe not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go to Sociedad versus Madrid, and that's another big game.
That's a big game.
That's first versus fourth. Second versus fourth. Madrid honestly just need to prove themselves. I think Zidane is the perfect coach for Madrid. Don't get me wrong, they started off slow this year, but I think Hazard's getting back into shape and all these players are fitting in well together. I'm going actually 2-0 Madrid. I think they're going to get this win.
Well, we always disagree about these, but I don't know. I still see a draw for Madrid. I see 1-1. I can see the 0-0 actually. I can see no one scoring in this game.
I just feel like the only thing Madrid need to do is, honestly, no one really talks about this, but their midfield.
Yeah.
Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric are obviously, one of the best in their position, but they're getting really old. So if I'm Madrid, I would play Federico Valverde more because
Yeah.
he's very good. And I would also try to get another midfielder in the summer. So I think that's good. Biggest Bundesliga game of the week. Obviously Bayern, they're playing Freiburg, but they already won the league. But we'll talk about the biggest one, Leipzig versus Dortmund.
That's a really big.
That's literally Champions
That's
League.
second versus third.
Yeah. Leipzig's home. I'm going Leipzig. I just don't see this Dortmund team. They have talent and everything, but that consistency is just a
If
big
Dortmund
thing.
didn't lose 2-0 at home, I would say yeah, Dortmund. That they had this in
Maybe
back
they're
pocket,
gonna react well. You
but
never
at the
know.
same time, they lost 2-0 at home. Don't you feel like that's just
Yeah.
mentally they're not there at this point? So I think it's Leipzig's game, and they're home. I know what you said the fans it doesn't really matter.
One
but
question I have though is Werner's head gonna be with?
I don't think so. I think he still wants to win, but
Yeah.
he withdrew himself from the Champions League lineup. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
saw
that's
that.
right. Leipzig are still in the Champions
Yeah,
League.
but
So that's big. But Patrick Schick's on fire right now for Leipzig.
I know.
So maybe he didn't do anything at Roma, but obviously he's doing well there. So I think Leipzig for me are getting this win. I'm going 2-1.
I 2-1. I see that too.
So Serie A officially kicks off this Saturday. Torino. Who did Torino play? They play Hellas Verona.
No,
right?
is it Hellas Verona?
I'll check right now. Yeah, Torino play Parma and Hellas Verona play Cagliari, but those aren't the big games.
Those aren't great games.
We're going to Sundays. 2 big games: Atalanta versus Sassuolo. So for me, this game is all goals.
Well, from Atalanta.
Really, Atalanta just can't defend.
I know they can't, but at the same time, Sassuolo can't attack. I'm sorry, if you see them, they just
You don't think they can attack now? They got good attack.
yeah, but
They got Boga, Caputo,
yeah,
Berardi.
but they don't really. All right, with that lineup, they don't really score a lot of goals.
Well, Atalanta are home, even though no fans, but I think there's one winner. Atalanta for me is going 3-1.
I don't see Sassuolo scoring.
We got Papu, Ilicic, Duvan, Muriel, Gozins, Hatibor. Like these are underrated players that no one really knows about until now, because now they're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
I say 3-0 Atalanta.
Yeah, I go 3-1. The next game, which I think is a big must-win game, is Inter versus Sampdoria. Sampdoria are not doing good this year, but for Inter, this is a good response. You're out of the Coppa Italia. You played pretty well. You just didn't finish. For me, they have to get this win. You can't tie. You need to win.
But they're in a comfortable spot. They're third, and they're far away from second and far away from fourth. So they're in a comfortable spot.
Yeah, but we all know what Inter wants.
No.
And if I'm Inter, I'm looking at Juve right now. They don't look good. They could win the league.
But if I'm Inter, I think the season's a bust. It's over for them. They either get third or fourth.
Nah, I think that's too quick. Nah.
But I'm sorry. I hate to say it.
Inter still have a chance.
I hate to say it, but I do not see Lazio falling off.
Yeah, but I see Inter coming back up.
But I don't see them getting
because
more
Lazio
third.
play Atalanta soon, and they could drop points, and Inter could climb up.
But I don't see I know. But I don't see Inter climbing up the table to second. I say Inter staying at third, either staying at third or eventually falling to fourth.
Like you say, Conte's a winner.
I know, and I love Conte. I love Inter. I don't like Lazio, but Lazio is not gonna fall off.
We'll see. Well, for this prediction, I really just hope Lautaro and Lukaku really start to perform, because they really don't perform in big games, and maybe this game isn't as big as people see, but for Inter fans and for Inter, this is a huge game. You need to win this game. So I think I'm going 2-0 Inter. I think they're gonna get this job done, and I think the 2 strikers, one of them is gonna get a goal.
No, I see that too. Sampdoria, they're not good this season.
Yeah.
I say 2-0 as well.
Even though Quagliarella is a great player, but Sampdoria, they haven't been good this season.
Yeah.
So let's move on to transfers. So
there's a lot of big transfers.
Yeah, coming from today, Timo Werner officially signs for Chelsea. I think we saw that coming ever since he declined from Liverpool or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the perfect signing for Chelsea. They need a center forward. Tammy Abraham's going to learn from him, and this is going to build up Chelsea even stronger.
Yep.
I think this is good for him and for Chelsea. Definitely, he's going to be Germany's main man next year if the Euros, when the Euros happens.
Yeah.
Another transfer, I was reading about that could happen is Alaba to PSG because Bayern are apparently open to selling Alaba, which I find kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, for PSG, I think that's a good signing because Thiago Silva is leaving,
I know.
and Alaba could play that left-sided role. He does really well there. Another transfer from Italy is Zaniolo to Juve.
In my opinion, that's a big transfer because Zaniolo has proved himself to be one of the best youngsters.
Zaniolo has
This
definitely been Roma's best player besides Smalling this season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the injury against Juve, he missed a large part. But now Roma do have him back.
So for Roma, do you think?
What I could say though is that if he does go to Juve, this is a good transfer for Juve.
But do you think for Roma, it's just like, okay, we'll give him away, we'll get money from him, and we'll buy a better player, or we keep him, we make him better, and he can become a Totti for us?
For Roma, there's one thing you have to keep Zaniolo.
Yeah.
He's the future of the team. Him, Pellegrini. But for Juve, if I'm Juve, Bernardeschi failed. Everyone said he was the next big thing. He's not. If I'm Juve, I would get Zaniolo, and I would actually aim for Tonali too.
Yeah.
Try to build your team around those two.
Still talking about Roma, Pedro to Roma that's a really good signing.
You think that's a good signing?
Well, for Roma,
sure.
no, for Roma it is because Roma they can't find a big name player.
Yeah.
And Pedro, he's a good player. He's fast, he's smart. He played on Barca, so he played in a winning team. He knows he wants to win.
He won the Prem in Chelsea.
He knows he wants to win. So I think it's a good signing.
The one problem I have though is that why is Roma getting Pedro now?
Yeah, you're right.
He's really old. For me, Roma needs to get a bright young winger.
But they don't know because
energetic.
At the same time, they don't know. He doesn't know what he's gonna do. He doesn't know if he's gonna stay or leave.
Yeah.
So let's say he leaves. Pedro's good for him.
Well,
for now.
Listen. For Roma, I think the best thing is to get players that fit your team, and I can't say Pedro does fit the team. So maybe it could be a good transfer, but personally, to me, I don't think Roma should go for him. Another big transfer is Havertz to Chelsea. I think that's definitely gonna happen.
If Havertz goes to Chelsea, their
over.
attack
It's
is just
over.
amazing.
For me, if Havertz goes there, Ziyech and Werner
They're winning the
and
Prem next year.
Chilwell,
they're winning the Prem next year. I'm calling it right now.
They're gonna win the Prem.
I'm calling it right now.
They just need to fix their backline. Another good transfer that I think is gonna happen is Thomas Partey to Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good transfer for Arsenal because they need a good center mid. I know Torreira and Xhaka, they're good, but you need someone like Thomas. This guy is fit for the Premier League. He's physically strong enough. He's technically good. This guy is a baller.
He's
He's
solid.
one of the most underrated players I saw. And against Liverpool in the Champions League, I thought he was the best player on the field.
No, he definitely made Atletico want to win that game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because you saw they were down and out, but he
he's
controlled
a good
that
player.
midfield.
I think perfect for Arsenal. Next, this is crazy. Newcastle have all these new owners now. 55 for Immobile, which is crazy. On Lazio. Immobile, don't get me wrong, is probably the best striker in Serie A right now.
Yeah.
But coming from us that we watched Immobile a lot, Immobile does not do well outside of Italy.
No, he doesn't.
He does not. He went to Dortmund, didn't do well. Went to Sevilla, didn't do well. I just can't see this happening. I can see Immobile honestly staying at Lazio the rest of his career.
I don't think Premier League fits him either.
Yeah, he's not that type of striker.
He isn't.
Last transfer news is a big one. Ronaldo to the MLS.
Well, yeah, because I don't know if you read it, but Nani said he wanted to retire in MLS.
No, I heard that.
Where would he go?
But where I could see him going is definitely in LA.
I was gonna say the same
or
thing.
Miami.
No, I think LA Galaxy.
He's definitely wants to be there. But the question is, when will he go? Will he go this summer or next summer? If I'm him, and if I'm Juve, this is a big thing. But I think he should leave this summer.
But we know Ronaldo. He does not want to leave this summer. He wants to win a Champions League in Italy.
I'm saying for Juve though.
I know, but he wants to. He also wants to prove that he's not old. And physically, he's old. But mentally, he still wants to win, and he wants to finish first in Serie A. Mm-hmm. He wants to win Champions League, and he wants to win Coppa Italia finally because last year they lost. This year they lost, and now what? What's next? They're gonna lose again.
They just need a whole regroup.
Yeah.
So moving on to questions we had for each other. I have 3 questions for you. I'll start off with the first one. After seeing yesterday's final, do you think Juve's season is gonna be a failure if they just win Serie A?
Yes. Because Juve is not just a Serie A team.
I agree. I think Juve not winning Coppa Italia now it puts more pressure on them. They need to win Champions League and Serie A. They're not gonna win Champions League in my opinion.
No.
Serie A, honestly, they don't deserve it, but they can't. They might win. You never know. Yeah, I think that's also. I agree with you. I think it's just a failure once
Then
again. That
who-
was last year too. They only won Serie A.
Who does deserve it, though, if Juve doesn't?
This is, in my opinion, I think Atalanta deserve it.
Well, they have
They're
48 points.
far off, but I feel like they just deserve something. They didn't win Coppa Italia. They got to the final last year. They deserve to win something.
All right, but out of Juve, Lazio, and Inter, obviously the only 3 teams that might win Serie A. Who do you think deserves it out of those 3?
I hate to say it, but Lazio.
Yeah.
They honestly have done really well this season. They deserve something.
No, they do.
Second question for you is, what is the number 1 sign-in Arsenal need to make this summer? Player-wise. Like, what player exactly do they need?
Well, in my opinion, they need a defender. They need a big defender.
Yeah.
You know who? No, I don't think so. I was going to say Boateng because he's at the end of his career, but
yeah.
I don't know. They need a fast, strong center back.
If I'm Arsenal, I'm splashing the cash on Upamecano. On Leipzig.
You think? Yeah,
that's the guy
actually
for
amazing.
them. They need to. For me, Arsenal need to keep Aubameyang, sign Thomas, and just build your whole defense this summer. Don't even focus on getting forwards. Anything. Build your defense.
What if? Let's just say, what if Juve wants to sell De Ligt? Do Arsenal look at De Ligt?
No, but that's not gonna happen.
But let's say in a world
yeah,
it does
obviously
happen.
look at him, but I don't think De Ligt would go to Arsenal.
Why not?
Because De Ligt can play at Man City, he could play at Bayern, he could play at Real.
But you never know. He picked Juve over Barca.
Well, Juve is on the same caliber.
Okay,
as
but
Barca.
the young picked Barca.
I mean, if I'm Arsenal, I would just go for the biggest realistic center back you could get. That's why I'm saying Upamecano.
Oh yeah, realistic.
He's realistic. I think they could get him. Last question I had for you. After seeing yesterday's game, is Gattuso the next big coach in Italian football?
Yes,
because think about it. Sarri, I don't know the stat, but Sarri, I think, had 130 games with Napoli or something.
47.
0 trophies. Gattuso had like 15 games. He already won a trophy.
All right, so yes and no. Yes, because he's done so well with Napoli, like you said. Like after Sarri, like they were going downhill, Ancelotti, but then Gattuso brought them back up. They won
he
Coppa
started
Italia.
off slow.
I know he did, because I don't know why, but then they won Coppa Italia.
Uh-huh.
No, because at the same time, what if Napoli's just getting lucky? What because after all this quarantine happened,
No, yeah.
Juventus they barely beat Inter.
Mm-hmm.
They barely beat Juve on penalties.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, I love Gattuso, but I don't know. I just don't see him be the next big coach.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying about Napoli. Like, maybe they did get a bit lucky because about this quarantine. Who knows if they wouldn't have ever won the Coppa Italia about this virus. But I do sense something about Gattuso because I'll be honest with you, Milan, these past 10 years, I could only think of one good coach they had, and that was Gattuso. He did a good job at Milan. He took them, they actually played pretty well. They beat some big teams. Now with Napoli, he's literally showing. He's got better players now, and he's got players that respect him. And he's got players that defend and will do what he says. So, for me, I think Gattuso's the next big thing in Italy. I think he's the next big coach.
I can partly agree with that and disagree. But yeah, I also have 3 questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one, after the win Napoli had yesterday, penalties. They won Coppa Italia. They have that in their system.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a bigger chance of beating Barca?
Yes.
In Champions League.
Hell yeah, actually. I actually think Napoli's going to win.
I believe that too.
I'll tell you what, this team is honestly so talented in so many positions. They got Koulibaly, even Manolas. Like, bro, let's be honest. He's a really good defender.
No, he is.
And Insigne, Mertens, I didn't like how Kaya Home played yesterday. But still, I actually think this Napoli team has, like, just gone up again. Like they're doing really well, and this Coppa Italia win honestly could help them in the Champions League and also the league. They could even qualify for top four.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
My second question is, with Pogba back, Bruno Fernandes on fire, and with Fred getting better, do Man U have a bigger do Man U have a chance to clinch a top four spot this year?
100%. But it's only down to them.
Do you think they have a bigger chance than Chelsea?
Yes. I'll tell you why. Man U just have more experience
Okay.
on the team. But we know Man U just aren't consistent, and Ole, for me, is just... He's not the right coach for the team. I feel like he's a good coach to build on youngsters like Lampard is doing with Chelsea.
Yeah.
But if United really just want to go to the next level, and for now their next level is reaching top four. But then after that, you're gonna want to compete for the league. You need a big name manager.
They're still in Europa.
Yeah, but yeah, I do think United can qualify for top four. Who do we got? We got City, Liverpool, Leicester,
Chelsea,
even Sheffield United.
Yeah.
If I'm saying talent wise, United, they can do it, but once again, it's up to them.
No, you're
Consistency.
right. Well, speaking of Europa, who is your favorite to win? Who do you think is the favorite?
That is honestly
your favorite and the favorite.
That is honestly the hardest question, like, because the Europa League is so unpredictable.
No, I know, but
listen here. Let me actually check right now. Who's in the Europa League that's left? So big teams wise, we have Man U, Wolves, Inter, Roma, Sevilla, Leverkusen, Shakhtar.
So look, in my opinion, the favorites to win.
I go Inter.
I say the favorites to win are Inter.
I think Inter's got it.
100%. My favorite to win. I don't know if I should say that, but I'm gonna say my favorite to win for now would be. I would like to see Wolves win it or Man U. I would love to see Inter win it. But they're not my favorites to win it. But I think they are the favorites to win it because Inter is the biggest team in this.
I go. My favorite and the favorite is Inter.
Yeah, I'll go.
I don't think any team there is better than Inter. I think Man U can put up a fight. Obviously, Bayer Leverkusen are good. Roma and Sevilla, that's a good tie.
Yeah.
But I just think Inter have the best coach, and they have the best players. They have Eriksen, they have Lukaku, Godin, De Vrij. Like, you have high caliber players.
So now, with that being said, Conte's team is sitting third in Serie A.
Mm-hmm.
Do they just look for Europa to win Europa?
No, I think they can do both. I don't know if they have the squad depth for it, but like, I just think Conte, like, he can win Europa League, but I don't know about Serie A if he can win, but he could definitely challenge.
So do you think he wants to win Europa League at this point? Because in the beginning of the season, let's be real, like, when they got knocked out of Champions League, I don't think he cared really about Europa.
He didn't.
But now, being knocked out of Coppa Italia, being third in Serie A, now do you think he wants to win it even more?
Well, let's see. They didn't play. They're playing Getafe. I think that's a tough game too, because Getafe actually have been doing really well this season. But yeah, I think Inter they're gonna focus on the Europa League. I think they are.
As
they need to win something. They need to win something.
Yeah, this is a failure season right now.
I think if they win the Europa League and Juve win Serie A, I think Inter actually have the edge. Like, I think their season was better.
Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, and peace out.
Peace out. Yo, that's my thing, guys. Yo.
Yeah.